Okay, so this is something that I honestly been pondering on actually for a few years now. I remember what the Bible said about women and like the evil spirit, what the Bible says about the Jezebel spirit, and you know things I see that women do, things I know and heard that women do. The paternity issue, how these women lay next to a
Mm,
man for years, looking a kid in the eyes for years, knowing there's no relation.
mm.
How good men get stoned out.
Hold on. Let's stop there. I promise you. I promise you. I'm gonna rewind it. I'm gonna play it in its entirety, and then we gonna go ahead and comment after that. But one thing that she said is absolutely diabolical, and it's a lot of women. We don't like to have this conversation. It's almost taboo, especially in certain communities. But there are a lot, and when I say a lot, there are a lot of y'all that don't even know who your real father is, and you grew
Mm.
up and you still probably believe that the man that raised you is your real father, and he don't even know that he's not your real father. There are a ton of mothers, grandmothers, great grandmothers, and so on and so forth who have children by men that they then told the man that they was with that they are with. That is completely diabolical. And to speak to her point, are women evil? Are women purely evil? That's a hard case. If so many good women, and
Facts.
trust me, it's a
Facts.
lot of women that went to the grave with it, you'll never know. You'll never even know. Some of y'all believe that your father is one thing and you are completely different.
Bro, imagine if your mom was hoeing around and your real father was a whole nother dude that you never met, you never seen this nigga. And the dude that she chose cause of his lifestyle or like the money, whatever, you think that's your father because she chose him. That ain't gonna lie. That is crazy, bro. That's crazy work. Think about it, bro. You got lied to. You got played. Not only you, but the man too. Thinking that that's his kid because he slept with her while she was hoeing around. Think about it, bro. That shit, that is fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is fucked up.
Kid. And it's a lot of guys that knew, had an inkling of it, and then loved her anyway. And I believe that men love much harder, much more fervently than women.
Bro, we get blind. To add on to his point, we get blind. When we fall in love, it's like we have this guard up. This guard of like not trusting everything that she says or not trusting certain things, and then it's like once we fall in love and we put that trust and that faith in you, it's like this wall just comes down, and now you get to experience something different. Like you get to experience a man that's in love with you. You get to experience a lot of things, but a lot of women take that for granted, bro. Like, truth be told, from my experience, bro, I've dealt with a lot of evil women. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not on here to say that all women are evil. Like, I think there are men out there that are evil and also women out there that are evil, but I think it's 50-50. But I do think some women are evil though, nigga. Like, I done been through a lot of shit. All right. If y'all want story times about this shit, let me know. But come on.
It's a lot of people that have children, and for a woman to sleep with multiple different men
Let's
and then
see.
get pregnant and then live with that for the rest of their life, you have to have something in you to hold that in. You know
Facts.
how stuff
Facts.
eat
Oh
at you
shit.
and it
Oh, oh,
bothers you, and
oh,
eventually you got to come forward with
oh.
it and you have to clean up yourself, ask for
God,
forgiveness.
no, no,
Man,
no.
think about how many people and how many lineages is not even really the lineage of the person that they think that they are,
Y'all ain't see that. Y'all ain't
and
see
your
that.
DNA and your IQ and everything around it, and you were completely different than the person that she supposedly had a child with or married. That is a truly diabolical act, and very few people, let me not even say very few people, I'm not even sure that I know any men in real life that would be capable of dying with that lie. I mean, going down with the lie and dying with the lie in the workplace environment is one thing.
That's
When it
different.
comes to doing crime, that's another thing.
Different.
But when you're talking about having a child and then having a man think that a child is
That's
his,
fucked
there's
up.
a lot of women that will
Fucked
finesse the child
up, bro.
support and family court laws in order to get the thing that's
Perfect example, my nigga, if you know who Anthony Edwards is. Just look up Anthony Edwards child support, bro. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about, bro. Told the girl he didn't want the baby, was going to end up paying for the abortion, everything. He was going to take care of everything. She said no, insisted on having a child. Bro promised her, he said, like, hey, I'm not going to be in this child's life. And since you want to take this to court, I'll go ahead and pay for child support for 8 or 18 years. Like, boom, I'll pay it all up front. She basically used that baby to get a check, bro. Now she's living a dope lifestyle because of that. That's some evil shit. But when you dabble in shit like that, you dabble with hoes, you dabble with groupies and shit, that's what happens, bro. Now, was that his fault? Yes, it was his fault because he shouldn't have busted up the club. He shouldn't have shot up the club like that. You got to be careful who you shooting up the club with. You can't shoot up the club with everybody, because especially you being a star player, and she knew that. She like, yo, this is a fucking meal ticket. I can easily cash in on this shit. That's what happened. But come on.
best, putting men on the birth certificate knowing it's not his. I've seen cases and court cases of women that knew that the child wasn't his and was still going for child support, making his man pay for a child that's not his, refused to take accountability for it. And of course, I'm not saying that all women did it, obviously, that goes without saying, but the fact of the matter is there is a large demographic of women that lean into this, and it is absolutely positively diabolical. You got to be a different type of person to punish a kid, for example, because you don't necessarily care about, or you bitter about the fact that you're no longer with the child's father, as to why men want to update and redo family court laws that was established at a time, taken to jail for back child support for a local person.
Damn.
And then we're going to come back and give our thoughts.
All right.
Okay, so this is something that I honestly been pondering on actually for a few years now.
And I always like to give credit to the content creators, so that link is going to be down in the description. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Let's get to it.
I remember what the Bible said about women, and you know, like the evil spirit, what the Bible says about the Jezebel spirit, and you know, things I see that women do, things I
She's so confused.
know and
She
heard
looking
that
like,
women
man.
do. The paternity issue, how these women lay next to a man for years, looking a kid in the eyes for years, knowing there's no relation, how good men get stomped out, how kids are just used for a check.
I just told y'all, bro, the Anthony Edwards situation. Look that shit up, bro. Look that shit up.
I've come to the conclusion that I think women are just pure evil. Like, I really think women are just pure evil. Women are naturally evil beings, I believe. And only a woman who's honest about our natural nature of being deceptive can change it. Like, for example, I know that naturally there's a selfish, gimme, 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 I want that type of way about me. So, about people, period, but especially women. So if you can't be honest and say that that's in there, then you can't deal with it and address it. And
She cooking. She even using herself as an example and saying, listen, I know this about myself, and so in order for me to address it, I got to acknowledge it. She cooking.
so I've noticed that
Truth be told, that's how you grow. That's how you grow in life. You have to acknowledge your weakness. See, the perfect couple, I low-key didn't know what the fuck I was about to say. The perfect couple, bro, there's no such thing as a perfect couple, but if two people come together, man and woman, and they both understand each other, but they also understand themselves, that's the key part. You have to understand yourself in order to fix something else that's outside of yourself, which could be a relationship with anybody or whatever it is, right? if you know who you are, because trust me, bro, we're not perfect. Like, everybody makes mistakes. We all have toxic traits. We all do something that is toxic, bro. Believe it or not, we're not perfect. But if you're aware of what you do, like, for an example, like what she said, I know for a fact, me personally, I have a gimme, 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 I want that type of mindset. So now she knows whenever she's in a relationship, she can't do that. And if that feeling or that energy comes up, she knows in the back of her mind, like, hey, yeah, I know this is your true nature, but remember, correct that shit because you want to make this relationship last. Boom. It's that simple, bro. But people are so stuck in their ways. Sometimes they don't even peep, or they don't even understand what they're doing. And I see this shit all the time, especially if you see a woman that's selfish, she's a narcissist. And the same goes for men too. Like, a lot of women be like, oh, I hate men do this, men do that. Bro, the same thing is vice versa. It doesn't matter what gender it is. We all do the same shit, right? You as a person have to be aware of, like, okay, I need to work on this. I need to fix this. If you want to become a better you have to work on you first in order for you to give love to somebody else, right? Just keep that in mind, man.
That the women who say they're the dopest, they're the this, they're the that, are usually the worst, because you have to acknowledge the beast in you in order to tame it. And so
Cooking.
I really just think most women are naturally evil. Period. I just think they're evil. And not even just how they deal with men and kids makes them evil, but how they deal with each other. Women are so jealous, deceptive, conniving. Like, you can just feel the evil when you are in the presence of certain women. You can walk in a room and you just feel the daggers. You just feel that demonic spirit. Women are evil. I don't care what nobody say. Women are untrustworthy, deceitful,
Facts.
demonic beings.
Facts. I ain't even gonna let bro finish because that's pretty much the video of Shorty, right? So look, what she's saying is true, bro. Nah, this is not all women. Please don't hop in the comments. Oh my God, you're such a sexist, blah blah. Bro, if you listening and you pay attention, I just said it's vice versa. It goes for men too. Like, nobody's perfect, right? But this video is talking about just women, so I'm gonna give my thoughts, my opinions about it. And of course, I've been in situations where I've dealt with evil women. I had evil girlfriends, evil exes, all type of shit, right? But it's their nature in a way. Like, that's exactly why. Perfect example, bro. To sum all this shit up, you know how everybody or every man says, or they tell you, like, hey, bro, you gotta be the bad boy. You gotta be the dude that's nonchalant, that doesn't give a fuck, that treats her like shit, right? It's because deep down she likes that shit, bro. Like, I'm not lying to you, dog. Bro, if it made sense, I promise, bro, you'll understand this shit. I promise. But look, think about it. If a dude is being so nice and so genuine because he loves his girl, like, he buys her flowers, rubs her feet, massage her feet, do all the little things, open up the door, you know what I'm saying? Make sure she's walking on the right side of the sidewalk where she's not close to the cars on the street. Just small gestures and shit like that. At first, she's gonna love it. She's gonna fucking fall in love with you, right? Over time, it's like subconsciously, she's gonna be like, yo, you know what she's gonna hit you with? It's not me, it's not you, it's me. You're just the perfect guy, and I don't think I'm ready for this. I don't want you to think it's your fault. I think it's my fault. I'm just not ready for this relationship. I promise you, I know you heard that shit. It's because you wasn't getting the pussy wet. You wasn't doing the right things. You wasn't being conniving and deceitful and all these things, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Truth be told, bro, you have to somewhat be a narcissist. You have to somewhat play their game in a way. Now, of course, I'm not telling you not to do those things. Of course not. But don't always do these things. Make sure she earns it. And when I say earn it, I'm saying it as in make sure she's giving back the same type of energy in her feminine way. For an example, you making sure you're the provider, you opening doors, you doing all the necessary steps as a man in the relationship. She should be doing all the necessary things as a woman in a relationship, whether that be cooking, cleaning, nurturing, taking care of the kids if y'all got some. She making your lunch, your breakfast before work, this, that, and the third. Like small things like that, bro. If y'all both doing it, that's a perfect relationship that will probably last a long time. I see it out of my parents. My parents been together for 40 something years, and I noticed both of them have roles. It's kind of like Batman and Robin, right? I'm trying to give y'all the perfect example. I'm going to comic books and shit or superheroes. But look, it's like Batman and Robin, but we look at Batman as the main superhero and we look at Robin as his sidekick. But in a relationship, both parties have a role that's both important, right? But of course, we know that your man is supposed to run you in a sense, not like that, but run you in a way he's the head of the household. There can't be two people head of the household. It doesn't work like that. And it even says it in the Bible. It says the way the relationship should work, the man is supposed to put God first, then your wife second, and then your family third, right? That's exactly how the Godhead is supposed to work. If that is not in order, bro, the relationship will fall. It will crumble every single time, bro. And you see that shit in today's society. You see that shit with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Perfect example is the Oscar slap. Bro, I could keep going on and on. I ain't trying to make the video too long. Let me make sure I'm still recording, bro, because I'm not. Of course not. Of course not, bro. I'm over here cooking, and this mug not even recording, bro. That's crazy work, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But look, y'all gotta understand though, like as a man, bro, you don't go in the relationship being all toxic and evil. Of course not. But you have to understand what type of woman you're dealing with, bro. Red flags is, of course, bro, if you see a girl that's in every dude's face and just trying to flirt with every dude, you know what you're dealing with. Unless she shows you otherwise, but you also have to pay attention to that because she could be putting on a mask. You just got to be real careful out here, bro, because like she said, women are deceitful, bro. They have the power to hypnotize you, dog. They have the power to make you feel good. Think about it, bro. You might be having a bad, shitty day, and a woman come up and or your woman come up and just nurture you, bro. Just rub you on your back, give you a little quick massage, ask you about your day, cook you a hot, fresh meal. Bro, I'm telling y'all, bro, it just hit different. I'm trying to tell y'all. But even still, in those feelings, bro, because you're going to fall in love with a girl like that. I'm trying to tell you, you still have to be careful. And I'm not saying check her phone, do this, bro. Have trust in somebody, but you need to have discernment. You need to ask God. See, a lot of these videos that talk about relationships, one thing they forget about is God. I'm glad she brought up the Bible. You got to pay attention to Jezebel spirits. You got to pay attention to all these evil demonic spirits, bro. I also realize, too, in the Bible, what happened with Adam and Eve? Adam was created first. Eve was created second. Eve was created from Adam's rib. You know that, right? Eve was created from Adam's rib, right? So we're meant for each other. But God told them not to eat from the forbidden tree which had fruit. What happened? A serpent came along to Eve, convinced her to take a bite of the apple. She took a bite, and it was like her mind just, her shit just woke up, and she started She was on game about everything, bro. She just knew everything because she woken up. Now, we were never supposed to get to that state. That's why God said, don't even touch that tree. Don't even go over there by that tree. But because she got tricked by the enemy, guess what happened? She also tricked Adam. She convinced Adam to take a bite of the apple too. Now, this messed up the Godhead. Adam was supposed to be in charge. Adam was supposed to tell her, like, hey, what did you do? You just ate from the tree that our maker just told us not to do, and you did it. Instead, bro was like, fuck it, let me see that apple. You feel me? Took a bite, and then boom, that's when God came down and started cursing. Not literally cursing, but cursing us. It says it. That's why women have periods. And that's why men and women bicker. We go at it a lot because of Adam and Eve, bro. That's exactly why this shit happens to this day, my nigga. That was the first day of that shit, bro. Of a relationship going bad, bro. That was the first day. God seen it himself. You know what I'm saying? So he knew in the future this would happen. But I ain't gonna make the video too long. The real question is, do I think women are evil, bro? Like I said earlier, I think it's 50-50. It's crazy in these streets right now, bro. Make sure you find somebody that you care about. Don't be so quick to rush into a relationship. Make sure you read the red flags. You have that discernment. Discernment means that you're able to see a person's true character, to understand exactly who this person is without even asking them who they are. You get what I'm saying? You have to have discernment and wisdom. Like, oh, I can tell they're a good person. I can tell they're a bad person. Now, don't get me wrong. There are people out there that have masks on and they hide their true selves. But trust me, if you chill with them long enough before you do anything, you'll understand who they truly are. The real them will eventually come out, and then you'll be like, oh, that's when you make your decision if you want to chill with them or stay with them or not, right? But I ain't gonna make the video too long, bro. It is almost 4 o'clock, or it is 4 o'clock in the morning, as y'all can see. Go ahead and like that video. Comment down below what else you want to see next. Also, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. It's your boy Jwill signing out, man. Peace.